And we're back. We're live.
We are. And we're sorry we're a little late,
Yep.
but such a beautiful day outside. We're standing around outside, didn't realize how late it was getting. Here we are. We're happy to be here tonight. Lots of things to talk about, but what week do we have where there isn't a lot of things to talk about?
And so many things that have happened. We were just at the Impact Awards on Friday
night. It was a special thing at a special place in Memorial Memorial Arena on the arena floor, but such a beautiful decorating job was done.
Yeah,
we all stood around in there and say, why don't we hold more events in here? Now, Councillor Gibson's come up with the idea of turning it into a roller rink.
So on board with that. She was telling me about that at the home show, which was another event that was going on the whole weekend.
That night was at the home show before we went over to Memorial, and then all day Saturday and all day Sunday. I had such a good time talking to, I think, over 4,000 people anyway at the City of St. Thomas booth at the home show. People are pretty pleased about our city right now, and it shows in their spending power.
Yeah.
Did you drive Talbot Street at all today? Because it was really backed up.
Not today.
The whole way. It was really busy. I'm going
because people are just loving how it looks.
Well, it was a beautiful day, and I think they all thought they'd get downtown and do some shopping. Well, okay, incredible. Build our city. We love it.
Yeah, and we'll have to let them know that they should be on Center Street as they're driving the sides.
Oh yes,
yeah. That's our thoroughfare that we've designed.
Well, we've got a lot of construction going on too, and so I had to think today, where should I go? I was over at the Nissan dealer, and then I've got to hurry back to City Hall. Oh, I can't cut down Canes. I can't go that way, right?
Yeah.
So I was on Talbot Street going, I hope I get there in time. I was meeting with the new leader from PowerCo today here, just to get together to get to know each other. We saw each other yesterday for a short period of time, but as new people continue to be hired on by PowerCo, I'm trying to meet as many as I can. Well, this is the new president. I don't know what his title is here, but
I saw Robert was joking at the PowerCo hiring day. What was that called? Another big event?
The Supplier Day.
Supplier Days. Thank you.
Yes.
That he was joking that he made sure that he was telling HR at PowerCo that he was going to let everyone know there that they were hiring.
Right. Well, and over and over, and I met a couple of new people even at Supplier Days, a new person who's coming here to be the director of purchasing for Canada. And so, right.
And that was a big
event.
What a
fun time.
The Premier was there. Vic Fideli was there. You were there. Rob Flack was there.
Yes. And lots of good conversation among those. But whenever we can put PowerCo in the same room with the Premier and the Minister, it's always another sales job about who else can we get, what other businesses are coming here. So couldn't be better. It was a lot. That was a great day last week. And as we said, then the home show, and then wow, then it was the Masters. I even got to go home and watch a little golf this weekend. Look, so much stuff going on. Yesterday, today's Tuesday, yesterday, again, a meeting with some other people from PowerCo and from Infrastructure Ontario at the site, and then lunch with some others from, this is really becoming a really fast-growing operation and lots going on. So, and happy to get through today with it too.
Yeah, and great for our audience. If you have any questions about what's going on, we're the mayor week.
Right, every week we are just so pleased that we're meeting our time goals, meeting the construction schedules. You saw last night there was a new hiring of a new contractor for some of the excavation and yard work there. So Blue Con. Was another piece of that site work that has to get done in order to start the construction like right now.
And a bunch of the details for that will be on the next Beehive, which you should see tomorrow.
Right. And we had an executive steering committee yesterday morning, about, and we have those about every 2 months. The forward thinking, when are we building what building? When are we doing, where's the steel? Where's that type of stuff? So some more detailed pieces in action. Fantastic for St. Thomas. Let's keep going.
All right. Yeah. Piece after piece. It's all coming together.
Yes.
And there's even more stuff happening. So I want to talk a little bit about the St. Thomas Police RISE program.
Yes. And that's a good thing. This is, And even we'll start that by saying last night at council, one of the things that we did was there's a declaration about intimate partner violence, and how the term they're using is turning into an epidemic, and it's truly from the chief's point of view not an epidemic, but it's not to be ignored. And so we have you've done some work on the RISE program, which is reducing intimate. I can't get what all the letters are, right? And working in our own community. And so we did pass last night at council a declaration that we joined another 100 communities that have declared intimate partner violence as an epidemic. So we did that last night. And the police wrote us also the police chief wrote us a great letter about not, hold on, we want to deal with it, but it's not further than that. And he says that a lot in this, as you can see what you're working on, RISE, with the St. Thomas Police.
Yeah, and I'm going to pop a link in here for more info, because we have an amazing amount of agencies
all working together in St. Thomas. It's taken a good deal of time for us to be able to say, you're doing it and you're doing it. Can we both do it together, or can you each take a piece of the big thing and do it your own bit? And so we get a lot of that now, whether it's CMHA or violence against women or
Southwestern Public Health,
all of those.
Second Stage
say,
Housing.
what piece of this are you taking? What piece of this are you taking? And we get far more results by all knowing what the other guy's doing and not everybody doing everything.
Yeah, and if something happens, you have the Victim Witness Assistance Program,
Yes.
people that are operating out of the courthouse.
Yes.
You have Victim Services Elgin, which operates out of the police station as well.
That's right. Right out of the police station now. So it's a big help.
If something happens, we have the support resources to help you, and you can connect into it. If you call the police service, they'll be able to connect you in and network you with any supports you need. What Beth Douglas is asking, when the Talbot Street restaurants are allowed to set up their outdoor seating, their outdoor patios. Anytime.
And obviously it's now a nice day today, but we passed bylaw last year not to have a fully enclosed patio, but every store could have. I saw Streamliners had their table and 2 chairs out, which many restaurants will do, and be able to serve some people outside too.
Absolutely. So your favorite restaurants, they can do it whenever they're ready.
Ask them when you're in them. Say, I want to sit outside. Can I take my table? No. Don't.
Yeah. Right. I know the Why Not Cookies patio is absolutely lovely when they get that all set up.
Well, and if you don't visit Why Not Cookies enough, because I talked to them a lot on the weekend at the home show.
Had a great booth there.
Well, and you know how the mayor needs coffee about all the time.
You got to fuel the passion.
Right. So I got to go visit them a lot and get my coffee and talk about how things were going. But they make some of the best sandwiches in the world.
Yeah.
We should talk about them more in downtown St. Thomas. I talked to the new taco people.
Yes, so
Taco
excited.
House. They're opening on May 4th or Cinco de Mayo the next day.
Yeah.
Right. Authentic tacos, and they make their own tortillas, and so
I'm so excited.
Great chat with them at the home show. Just so much stuff going on in downtown St. Thomas right now.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, food places in St. Thomas, they always do well.
Right. I'd still like to talk about what we could do with food trucks in the core also. We have to keep a distance from operating restaurants. I understand that, but even if some of our food trucks were in some of our downtown parking lots from time to time, and they could tell people they were there, and it would be another, festive thing.
I had some questions come in about that. Some food trucks were saying they can't get a license because they're too limited for St. Thomas right now. Is there a limit? Is there still a limit on the number of food truck licenses?
Right now, we've kept it at 6 to make sure that they are out and about in St. Thomas.
Yeah.
If we could expand maybe more even where they were, we went to 6 when we added Pinafore Park and Waterworks Park and some other city-owned places or city-regulated places. But I've not heard from the food truck operators that they think they have too many or not enough, but I usually meet with them at least once a year. But if the citizens are telling me, hey, we should get some more out there, we would perhaps. The The 6 from St. Thomas were all in. I don't necessarily want to give food truck licenses to some from London or other places.
Right.
So if there's more St. Let's based, I got to quit driving to Toronto.
Wow.
There's some St. Thomas based food trucks that would like to also participate. Let's see what we can do.
Fantastic. All right. Ben Nichols is saying, my apartment overlooks many empty spaces. They're not used after operating hours. It would be great to have stuff going on there on weekends or later in the day.
You're talking about spaces downtown?
I would assume so.
Okay, well, look at many of the merchants downtown are sole proprietors. And if they come to work at 9 a.m. and close at 6 o'clock at night and go home to their families, it's a little tough for some of them to say, okay, I'll stay open till 9. But we've had some great merchants like Susanna Ferris did light up downtown,
who has said yay for patio season.
Great, excellent. And that drove some of the merchants to do something more on 1 or 2 days. And of course, Nostalgia Nights is coming up, which really does fill our downtown. We need
July
the downtown.
13th?
Yes, July 15th of this year.
13th.
We need the downtown merchants to participate in that, of course, too. But sometimes it's a little difficult to design more stuff outside where weather can also be a problem, right? And later in the evening when there's less people downtown. We know what comes first, the cart or the horse. Do we get people downtown then hold the events? Do we get start holding the events? Yep, look at what's happening with transit. It's great to report on last week.
I saw the regional transit on Wellington.
Yes.
A couple of days ago. And I was just like, this is fantastic. There it is.
And it was Chris Patrickman who was telling me his sister or his cousin had ridden it back and forth, and he said it was half full each way.
That's it. That's amazing.
Perfect. We need to keep this up and keep that using and keeping it going.
I'm going to argue
more
for
things happen.
A stop at Ron McNeil and Wellington, and then I could just walk down and hop on it, or like my daughter, when she gets old enough, she could hop on that bus.
Cool. Yes, it goes over to Highway 4 to go to London.
Yeah, it pops right up Wellington.
Right. So
I'm like,
it goes down past Amazon on the way too, and Wellington on the way back.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Now, with construction season coming upon us, some of that will change. And as we talked about last week, Voyago says of all of the regional transit routes currently running, none of them are exactly the same as they were when they first started. So we'll do this for a while and test out what's the best routes, what's the best stops. But by all means, let's use our voices to say, here's a spot you could go, here's a spot you could go. I love it.
Right. Or even if you could do like we talked about before with the transit having an app where you can say, pick me up here, and if it's on the route?
There is an app, and you get preference if you've booked your seat on the bus by being at staying ahead of time. And if there was, there's 16 or 18 seats on the bus, and there's 20 people, and you've booked, you got your seat.
Do they have the technology to bring another bus online if people have
we do know that if all of us, if we've got pre-bookings of 30, then certainly Voyago knows we got a lot of people coming. We may have to do another or start to do larger buses. So
incredible. All right. Ben Nichols is also saying he was talking about the food trucks, and he's still gushing over the regional transit stuff.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree. We, and I'll have to talk to the new chair of the Downtown Development Board about whether we should look further into food trucks in the downtown.
That's me. I'm the new chair.
Yes, and if those of you don't get it, that's the joke today. We because really the downtown said for the first year or two of food trucks, let's protect us, let's make it work.
Yeah.
And we're seeing more and more communities. Now we're not gonna. I really don't want to see a food truck parked out in front of Bella Jack's.
Yeah.
Right. So we need to designate certain spots that
there has to be a way we can find to make this work.
Well, we could park one over at the library.
Yep.
And there isn't a restaurant within too close of here, so that could happen. We can designate a spot, and truly parking in downtown is only 2 hours.
Yeah.
So the food truck can only be there for 2 hours unless we change designation around them too. But let's all work together on it. I'll certainly start the communication with the food truck people. At our next downtown board, we should talk about it because
Absolutely.
look, we always invite them down for things like nostalgia nights, and it works out great. Or we invite them down whenever we're having a street event of any sort. So we'll talk about it more. I think
there's lots of ways to grow our community and make
Yes.
it more vibrant, and I'm super excited to be a part of that.
Yeah. And so, somebody has asked me in the past, well, Joe, you own a restaurant. You want the food truck parked outside of yours? I said, no, but if we set a 200-foot limit or something from brick and mortar restaurants, then okay, I think we're
Besides,
okay.
they're not going to be able to find parking because you're always packed up around
No,
the block.
you can't come near. Right, yeah. But you're right. It's the way to look at it.
Yeah. Suzanne says we're lucky to have you, Grayden, and thank you,
Oh, no,
Suzanne.
I agree.
Appreciate that.
I'm so thankful for the volunteers and helpers in this community. Like Santa, I have lots of helpers.
Well, we should give a shout out to Barry Fitzgerald because he was honored at the
yes.
Impact Awards. There are amazing nominees there, but I'm really glad that that award,
the lifetime award kind of thing. Barry's been involved in everything in this community for a lot of years, and our area, because really he was really from Port Stanley, right? Too. But it's just so unique to see great people recognized. But boy, there wasn't many bad people.
Wasn't
even
a single
nominated,
one.
Right?
I would not have wanted to be on the selection committee for this year's Impact
Anybody
Awards.
could have won any award, and we would have said, "Yeah, okay, I see that."
They all deserved it.
Yeah, perfect, excellent.
It's just incredible. But for pictures of that, you can pop on the Established Media's Facebook page. There's links to all the pictures from both the home show and.
Well, I saw a bunch of Candace's too, right? So
these are linked to Candace's. These are Candace's photos.
Right. Well, perfect. And
she did an amazing job.
Yes, I saw you a lot at the home show this weekend. I think we spoke maybe 25, 30 seconds as you kept running by, and I was talking to crowds out in front of the St. Thomas booth.
I have to go to children's birthday parties now because Lily has friends.
That's right. So now I got to go.
I was like, I took as many pictures as I could in the 15 minutes I had.
Well, heard nothing but great things about the DDB's booth.
Yes, it looked amazing.
Right.
They did such a good job.
Yep. Just look, the hot tub people wouldn't fill up a hot tub so I could go in my Speedo, but they had hot tubs for sale.
How are you going to buy it if you can't try it?
Well, that's what I said. He said we'd still like to sell some of them, Joe, and that probably
did the plumbers have the toilet set up this year? Because I tell you, that's a really handy place to take a break.
Just right in the middle of the aisle. They were handing out plungers.
Got those.
So everybody was walking around with plungers, and so somebody left one at my booth. So I used it all weekend as my kind of my gavel or my microphone, or I kept telling people this is our new wastewater treatment plant, and
could really suck there.
We had a lot of fun. Yeah, that's it. I took the plunge. Okay. Lots. What's coming up this weekend? Well, the CMHA is having a special fundraising event at the Jill Thornton Center, where our own city police hockey team is playing the Leaf alumni.
Yeah.
And it's no shabby Leaf alumni with Ella Frady, Wendell Clark. Wow. Right. Every Leaf you ever adored is going to be there this weekend. So get your tickets. There is a few left still, right? A very special lady in my life is singing the national anthem. So
fantastic. So way to go, Stephanie.
We're going to have a lot of fun on Saturday doing that.
So,
look, it's April, and we're almost like midsummer fun going on. Are you feeling it that way? It's boy,
look at me.
I can barely get home.
I feel it. I dress it. I live it.
It's the right place to be. There's so much stuff happening in our community. So we'll take it.
And Suzanne's saying, we could have a hot tub at Light Up Talbot for you, Joe.
Oh, a warming station with real warming station.
That would be a hot station.
Let's see which hot tub company would like to display their wares. Yeah. I'll get the Speedo out in the winter.
Okay. This would be a real.
Okay, now I've scared most of the community.
All of a sudden, there's no attendance.
Yeah. Didn't we have a lot of people downtown last year?
Last year was really packed for this.
I don't know. There was
Well, there was a lot more going on council.
Oh, last night we did. Let me just go as quick as we can. We had a full 2023 program review of Ontario Works. And we talked about our community and still the social services that we offer. And we talked about how do we turn what we're doing in Ontario Works into the employment that's needed for upcoming new businesses. And perfect. We talked about that. You already talked about the Yarmouth Yards Earthworks and servicing phase 1 and it happening. And a couple of other funds we've offered to ask the federal government, provincial government to bring to us so we can do more housing. This one is a really neat thing. We've signed a memorandum of understanding with the YMCA. One of the things many people share with the YMCA is it's in order to enroll a family, it's not inexpensive. It's a great place to go, so we've signed a memorandum of understanding that in the months that we don't have JC pools open, so that's July and August, right? So the other 10 months of the year, we have $100,000 that we're to try and support people to also be able to use the Y, either for aquafit, for swimming lessons, or for family swims.
$100,000.
So we think that's going to contribute a lot to families in St. Thomas to be able to get out there and swim.
That's incredible.
Yeah, well
done.
We've got this in our community, and so why don't we, while we're still looking at building our own recreational center, contribute to people who are already doing it in our community and see what the actual market is.
Amazing.
Right? So we're doing it.
I love that.
Well, we're not just pretty faces. We actually get some stuff done. And, there was, other than that, we said the proclamation of flag raising for victims and survivors of Crime Week, which is coming up May 12th to 18th. So we said yes to that. And then we had a public meeting last night about some additional rezoning for the property at 1016 to 1020 Talbot Street. If you don't know where that is, that's where the Pioneer gas station used to be across Talbot Street from Wendy's.
On the south side.
Right. And the new owners of that property is trying to decide what to build and how to build it. And so by opening the zoning to more things like medical centers and
water park.
Well, that's up to them, right? I think he was thinking of rental.
Rentals.
Yeah, like actual businesses or services.
Another mini golf place?
Well, could be, of course, right? We've lost our 5-pin bowling alley there. Perhaps we could get it back. Right?
The world, yeah.
As
many good things come, you lose some.
It's a trade-off.
About
the growth and fun and excitement in St. Thomas. But geez, when was the last time we had a roller rink or even a roller night? And I think Councillor Gibbs talking about one event. Let's see if people come out.
Very on board for this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I used to roller skate a lot. London Arena, and the London Arena was a hardwood floor roller skating arena, and I lived very near it. And in my early teens, I used to roller skate.
Was there one in Tillsonburg? I feel like I went out towards Tillsonburg when I was a kid one time. It was great. There was like disco lights and like music
and
like
it was a place you took somebody on a date. That's what it was. It really was a fun night.
Yeah, it was absolutely fun. So I think that's just really great. She said she's going to put a whole plan together. So very excited for that.
Excellent. And I'm anxious to hear it. But we saw this weekend. It's something else that more than one councillor and I talked about this week. And we saw what Memorial looked like for an event like Friday night. It was beautiful in there, really well staged. Sound was fantastic, right? Capable of handling that many people and that much food.
It was so good. The food. I haven't even talked about the food yet.
I don't want to start or we're going to miss somebody. There was good stuff.
Steelhead Oyster Bar.
Yes.
Plaza Sushi had a full sushi, all-you-can-eat sushi bar. Right. There was a mashed potato bar from Letterbury Charcuterie, as well as all the charcuterie you could eat. Barbecue from Smoke and Caboose. James Meadows had salads.
Yes.
It's like a full spectrum.
Right.
It was one of my favorite meals
I love to wander around and graze like that.
And Royal Oak, the appetizers that they pulled together.
Oh, geez. And then we went over to the home show the rest of the weekend and saw another arena being used for something besides just hockey. We know hockey's big, right? Yeah. But why not use our arenas? I mean, we had a concert at Joe Thornton when it was first opened, Gordon Lightfoot. All right. So you put 4,000 people in a venue like that, and we have the floor that can go down over ice. So if we have to do it that way, but we're really looking for places like that where we can do some fun entertainment, fundraisers, whatever you want to call it. We got
incredible.
it going.
I'm going to go to Rock the Park this year. Maybe I'll get some ideas while I'm there on what we can do. It's going to be exciting.
Well, we recognized part of the goodness of Budweiser Gardens, or right in London, is when a big show comes to Toronto and to Detroit, Budweiser Gardens can sign them up on the way through, and just a one night, come do what you do. Perhaps St. Thomas can get in on this a little bit because they use the RBC Theatre at John Labatt Center or Budweiser Gardens now for smaller, intimate crowds. We could do the same thing with ours. We want to really look at using the city-owned facilities in a different way and more often. And no, we don't want to step on figure skaters or hockey, but we'll find a way for us to be able to do it quicker and better.
And we were looking at Memorial as well. Like, we could do the Impact Awards with the Chamber, and then we could use that same setup to have a concert the next night. Right. So it's more efficient working together.
Not trying to take things away from Talbot Street, reading a comment here. We want to have our open stuff like Oktoberfest and other stuff, events on Talbot Street, nostalgia nights. Light up Talbot, the tree lighting. We got to have all of those too. But we can be a more vibrant community in 10 places. So,
the Railway City Music and Arts Festival, which is coming back again this year, is going to be phenomenal in Pinafore Park. So if you're interested in art and you're interested in arts, music and arts.
Don't forget some of our other event spaces, like the Railway Museum and the Queso Station.
Phenomenal.
Some really nice stuff. So
Bunnies and Brews they just had. It was sold out at the railway station. I heard it was phenomenal. I wasn't able to get a ticket.
No, they sold out before even then. They offered me one, but I said, okay, no, I'm not going to put rank here. I'm okay. And we ended up sponsoring the comedy night at Queso, and there's a fashion show coming up at Queso at the Railway Museum soon, right? And so looks like fun happening in other places too. Mural Festival, why not?
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
We have a bicycle festival happening this summer here at Westlake Evans Park. And so we'll have to get the dates on that. Right?
Is that organized by the historical?
Historical bicycle people, and and I think the libraries. I think the libraries involved too.
Very good. So many things happening. We're running to the end of our time.
Right.
Any last minute mentions before we run off?
Oh, it's just been so exciting. If you don't mind us rambling a little bit every Tuesday night and answering some of your questions, there is lots to be done, lots to talk about, and a lot of excitement. And the passion of people in St. Thomas right now seems to be almost excessive. It's just great, right? We got a lot of great stuff happening. So that's all I've got to say. Please ask us your open questions about St. Thomas and what else we're doing in town. We need to be able to get the feedback from you also on how City Council's doing, and are we doing, or is our growth program right, and all the above.
Yeah, because there's more programs. Now, you've opened up another section for questions as well.
Okay.
Through the city website. So if you go onto the city website, you can see all the stuff that you're going to need to know. And I'm just pulling up. There was another thing. There was an item that was sent through on career destinations, trade and manufacturing.
Yes, and we talked about that from a city point of view today. We're crying for people to take on great careers. If you're not employed right now, what are you doing? I mean, there is places where you could train yourself to get at Fanshawe College. They're putting it on, so right, or even I hate to put the word underemployed. If you've got a hankering to go do something else that is going to be a lifetime career, this career destinations program at Fanshawe College. Go to Fanshawe College and look it up. I saw it on social media today and passed it on to all of our people, but you want to look at it too.
April 22nd and April 26th of this month.
Right.
So go to Fanshawe College, check it all out.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're at the end of our time here, but that was the last piece I wanted to throw in there.
Just the show. We're not really at the end of our time.
No, not our time.
Don't say that to an old person.
I hear you. There's never enough time in the day or in a life.
Right.
Anyway, thanks again to all our viewers, our sponsors, everybody. We're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yes.
And we'll be back with more.
We'll be back, same time, same place. Almost looking just as good.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Take care.